Hi everyone, thank you for listening to Down Under Community Radio. You're here with Rene, Sam, Abbas and Martin doing the Debt and Hardship segment. Alright, look, I'm not a financial counsellor. I'm not here to give you advice, but I've been through it and I know where to look and who to go see. So I'm just imparting some of my experiences on the radio here. Look, the most important thing that you need to consider when you're in debt is the debts that you have. How are they going to impact you? Like, if you fail to meet your repayment, what is going to happen? Besides the constant phone calls and the harassment and all the rest of it, look, it happens. They're only supposed to call you a couple of times a day. I'll let you know a bit more about that later in today's segment. They are allowed to call you. So, yeah. What you'll find when you are in debt, when everyone's hitting you, the last thing you want to do is answer the telephone. You get this sort of like this knot in your stomach whenever the phone rings, and you just don't want to answer it. You get all these letters you don't want to open. It's important. One, it's important to answer the phone. They can only call you a couple of times a day. The main reason is, once you answer the phone, it means they have contacted you that day. So it's a tick in their book. If they don't reach you, they can keep constantly calling until they get through. So to reduce the number of calls per day, answer the phone. You don't have to talk for long. Sometimes you're not able to talk and you need to let them know. They're not really supposed to pressure you in continuing the call if you're not able to talk. For example, a friend of mine was overseas. He was actually in intensive care, and the bank had called his mobile and wanted him to. They wanted to know when he was going to pay that money back that he was owing for that month, even though he made arrangements. He told them that he wasn't able to take the call at the time, but this lady insisted on talking to him, even though he was in bed in intensive care. I mean, like, yeah, that's an extreme case. So, all right, you want to know who to talk to. The best people to talk to before you make any decisions is to talk to the Financial Counsellors Association of New South Wales. Their website is www.fcan.com.au. If you go to the website and go to the Help tab, you'll be able to book a financial counsellor to sit down with you and have a look at all of your debts, all of your expenses, and see how it all fits together, what your situation is, what you're able to cut down, what you can afford, what you can't afford. I went to Mission Australia down in the city, and they were absolutely fantastic. They sat down with me, they helped me out. We filled out a spreadsheet of the my income and my expenses, and made a plan of exactly how we can go forward from there. Some of the banks are just unreasonable and very, very hard to talk to. And if you can't talk to them, the financial counsellor can actually talk to them on your behalf. So have a look at the website. There's a number to call. Let me just bring that up. You can call them up and see who where the financial counsellors are in your area. The number is 1300 914 408. That number again, 1300 914 408. Please don't enter a debt agreement or a hardship agreement. Talk to them first. Let them have a look at your situation and go from there. What we might do is have a bit of music, and we'll be back in about 2 minutes. Thanks. Hi everyone, you're listening to Down Under Community Radio. Back to the debt and hardship segment. All right, let's talk about hardship arrangements and debt consolidation agreements. They're two totally different things, or how I understand it. Debt consolidation agreements is someone speaks to all your debtors, like your bank, the council for your council rates, electricity, water, all the bills that you basically owe to different people, and they make some sort of arrangement with them and tie you into a contract. Now, the debt consolidation agreements really affect your credit rating, so you're basically not able to get home loans, personal loans, may impact you on getting credit cards, any sort of credit, even like possibly a postpaid mobile. I haven't gone into a debt consolidation agreement, thankfully. I seek the right advice at the right time, and they said it's definitely a no-no. But I made hardship arrangements with different suppliers. If you're struggling with paying different bills, you can the banks can give you what they call a moratorium, where they don't charge you interest. You may have to pay a small amount, or they can have a monthly payment option for only a short period, usually 3 to 6 months. It depends on the bank. They don't have to give you that. It's up to them whether they do. But if you don't ask, you don't get. That's true with credit cards, with home loans. You can do similar things with, for example, your council rates. If you're having problems paying the council rates, you can opt for a smaller amount over the next 3 months or 6 months. Same with your electricity and water. Most of the suppliers, if you have a look at your contracts, they will have a hardship clause where they actually help people out that are struggling financially. Like I said before, the best is to seek advice from the Financial Counsellors Association of New South Wales, and they'll be able to have a look at what your incomings and outgoings are, how you can reduce your outgoings, and what what you can afford. With the hardship arrangements, it's very important that you stick by them. Look, they're giving you reduced payments or no payments, and if you miss those payments, miss the time frame that reduced payment needs to be paid. If you miss that window where you need to pay that smaller amount, they're not going to give you that hardship anymore, or you might have problems getting that hardship. If you have difficulty in paying that hardship arrangement, you can call the supplier, make a new arrangement, or just tell them that you're running late. But it is important to make sure that you let them know what's happening. The financial counsellor can also let you know if there's any grants or handouts that may be applicable in your situation, or even short-term loans. The only problem with short-term loans is you're going to need to pay them back as well. So it's probably not a good idea to get further into debt. If you go to the FCAN website, www.fcan.com.au, the Financial Counsellors Association of New South Wales, under the Help tab, there's a Financial Rights Legal Centre link there, which is financialrights.org.au, and they have a lot of information about your actual rights. For example, when people start calling you regarding your credit card debt, when you're going to make the payment, how much are you going to pay, and so forth. There's information on that website that will help you know your financial rights, know how many times they're allowed to call you, what you can and can't do. Their number is 1-800-007-007. That number again, 1-800-007-007. They'll be able to give you some advice as well. If you need urgent advice, call them first, and they'll give you a heads up of what you can and can't do. With regards to the financial counsellors, you need to make an appointment, and sometimes it may take a few days, sometimes it'll take a few weeks before you can see a counsellor. Let your debtors know that you are going to see a counsellor. They should give you that grace period to be able to go and talk to someone and work out a plan of where you're going to go from here. Don't ever agree to anything that you can't afford. If you can't afford it, tell them you can't afford it, and speak to the counsellor, and they'll be able to actually figure out whether or not you can afford it, and in some cases back you up and negotiate with the bank or with the debtor to nut out an agreement. All right, let's have a bit more music. This is getting a bit deep, so I'll be back in a few minutes.
Oh,
Hi everyone, we're back doing the debt and hardship segment. One thing that I'd advise is always talk to debtors. Try to avoid them on-selling the debt, because once they on-sell the debt, these companies that chase you up for the debt, they call you constantly. The way they talk to you, they put you down, or most of them do. Sorry if I offend anyone, but my experience has been very negative in that respect.